Gurmat website, gurmatbake.com, written by Manvir Singh. Wow. And based on that, based this talk. So it's a topic which is probably quite relevant to nowadays in the society we live in. Okay, so as you can see from that's what it was on the internet. It was talking about someone, a Singh said to a Gursikh that I can't live without her. He's what I need that big, I can't live without her. That he'd fall in love with somebody. And so from that, there was vichar on what is love, and we're looking at what Gursikhi says as well. So just as a quick start, who are the most famous people known for love in this world? Hanji Bhai Manvir Singh.
David Beckham from Victoria.
I
thought you meant Western society.
Western, chalo. Also, we were more like a classic example. Chalo, oh, ठीक है. Manvir Singh.
Romeo and Juliet.
Did you fall in love with somebody?
No, they obviously Romeo and Juliet.
ठीक. So Romeo and Juliet's a good example. Chalo, David Beckham, and you know, there's a film based on that. Hanji Bhai just he Ranja. You try to buy some listen to Gane. I always realised this being recorded as well. Sorry, whoops. So he Ranja. Hanji go up Punjabi, anyone know anymore in Punjab?
Laila Majnu.
Laila Majnu. Sassi Pannu. Hanji. And Mirza. I don't know, Mirza the Sai Pasi, I think. I don't know. Hanji, Bhai Manvir Singh.
Or some said in Rama and Sita.
Rama and Sita. Chalo, theek hai. And yeah, I can't figure more in English. I think it's nice that Romeo and Juliet's the main one. I can't think okay. So, what does love mean? So you said these people are famous examples of love. But what did they do in terms of love? Or how did they express what love is in their lives? What is love? How do they express it, or what's the common understanding of when people say, "Oh, I've fallen in love," or "That's a love story," or "That's they're known for love"? Hanji,
maybe like dependent on each other.
They're dependent on each other. Anyone else?
Can't live without each other.
You can't live without each other. Okay. Anyone else? Vijay?
Sacrifice their all for each other.
Okay, they sacrifice everything, the all for one another. Hanji, anyone at the back?
Waste their time and money.
Hanji?
Waste their time and money.
They waste their time and money on other. Acha, theek hai. Sama pura karke, so minimum 9-10 दिन में time हो गया. Okay. This is an Bhai Sahab mentioned, I think one is called Majnu and Laila. Okay, Majnu, what does Majnu mean? Somebody falls in love in Punjab, or somebody falls in Punjabi, you say, oh Majnu hua. And Majnu means someone is crazy. The word na bora, na bora in Gurbani Janda Pag just have the bora means you're going crazy. And the crazy in sense that you fall in love so much that you pagal ban jande, you actually become crazy. Okay. So I'm going to quickly just share the story of Laila Majnu with you guys. It looks like the typical Pradesh covers, isn't it? Laila and Majnu, there's different folk stories about them. Research Kardasi, and there's like different versions of that. I was just reading just for the purpose of the talk. And generally the gist of the summary of the folk story is that Laila and Majnu, they went to the same school, and from a young age, jira Majnu is a naado hor kuch si unu Majnu kehn lag pe si because he pagal ban, he fell in love with her and he became a bit crazy, so unu Majnu kehn lag pe. His name wasn't Majnu, really something else. I don't know what his name is, मैं भूल गया, but they start calling him Majnu afterwards. So he fell in love with her, and he always used to think of her, he used to follow her, he used to think her, sing songs about her, and then when he gets to the age of marriage, just before she gets married, he actually goes to the girl's dad's house and asks that, "Can I marry your daughter?" And he said, "Sorry, no." And the reason why is because he was poor, and they were rich. He goes, "Sorry, you can't marry." Oh, he was very heartbroken about this, and she was married to somebody else, and all his life he would be singing songs and thinking about her. So he's really gone crazy, and people are going, "Pagal banda hai, pagal hai." That's why they start calling him Majnu. And what happens is once ek kutta nangda si, and someone said that this dog is Laila's dog. Ye jehda kutta hai, ye Laila da kutta is this Laila's dog. And when he saw the dog, he grabbed the dog, jaffi pa ke, he started kissing the dog. Chummiya, satkar kita, out of respect, jaffi paun lag paya. You are the dog of my lover? And he goes, he loved Allah so much that they showed love for the dog because that dog belonged to the dog's master was his lover. So that's how crazy he was. In short, and in the end, I'm not here just to learn about them. Some people think, oh wow, this is like a great story. Is karke some Punjabi songs and poems are written about this type of stuff, like Heer Ranja as well, because they think, oh, this is how sweet for love, what someone would do. What happens is that when she gets old, all his life, he doesn't get married. Pagla me jana, and he always sings songs about Leila. Okay, when time goes on, Leila mar jandi, Leila dies, and he finds out someone tells her that Leila mar gaya. And when that happens, he travels and goes to where her grave stone is. He commits suicide. He said, if the reason for my life is their life, Leila is dead, I am dead, because you are my life. If I have a life, you are my life, and my life is gone, so I am gone. So so people usually sing about this, sing how romantic and for love you're willing to give up your life. Maharaj ki kende, and Sadhguru says that people, this is what worldly people, Leila Majnu di sift karde ya, but as Gur Sikhs, we're going to talk as Sikhs now, sadhe vaste, because as Guru the Sikh, or we're aspiring to be Guru the Sikh anyway. So we're going to say whether we should be inspired about that, or perhaps not. Okay, so the worldly people, if they think that's a good thing, that's the world. But the Sikhs, we don't follow what the world says. Bhagta ki chadna chana bhagta ki dikham mar channa. The lifestyle of a Gur Sikh is unique. It's not the same. Gurbani divides us into the eksansariyat and bhagtaya. They're the worldly people and they're the devotees. Both of them are the bandini sansari and the bhagtadi. For a whole of history, in Shah, for example, bhagtadi sansari te kadi bani nahi. People who follow God's path and those who follow the world's path, they're never, one of the bandini, never they can get on together in terms of their thinking. And that's why we look at Sikh history or any history of any religion or spiritual tradition, there's always a conflict. Even that's why sometimes a conflict with us, because we are one foot in the world, I want to please everybody, and one foot in this spiritual world. One foot in Sikhi and one foot we have in the world. And that's why we sometimes think, should I keep my wrath, should I follow what Guru says, or should I do this to please my friends and everybody else? This comes from, anyone know which Bani this comes from? Hopefully people can read Gurmukhi. Kiri Bani इस श्लोक महला मैं पढ़ के दस फिर तुसी दस तो किरी बन इस श्लोक महला दूजा एक नहीं आशिकी दूजा लगे जाए नानक आशिक कांडिया सद ही रह समाए चंगा कर मन्ने मंदा होए आशिक एवं ना आखिए जे लेखा वर्त सोए anyone बाणी this comes from आशा की वार अच्छा so Guru Angad Dev Ji says एक नहीं आशिकी दूजा लगे जाए. What type of love is this that you fall in love with someone other than Vaheguru? Because if you look at what we are, that instead of falling in love with the Vaheguru, the eternal, you're falling in love with skin, blood and bones. That's what we're made of. If you think about it, we're going to decompose. We get old and we become fragile, then we're going to die. You're falling in love with this bag of bones. Okay? You're falling in love with someone's skin, with someone's flesh, and which is going to wither away. And you have actually discarded Vaheguru's love. Nanak ashak kandiya sad hi reh samaye. Guru says, oi ashak, ashak nahi, ajkal we use ashak in like a dirty way. We like ajkal Punjabiya de gaane, ashk ashki de gaane hunde, sad that we actually listen to these gaane, and we might dance to these gaane or play them in our parties and stuff, because they're not appropriate songs, because they're inappropriate songs, but sad that we think that's our culture, it's not really. Guru says, Nanak ashik kandi, to my lovers, and ashik in the pure sense, is one who's always in love with that person, who remains forever immersed. I, for us, who always remains immersed in Vaheguru. Oi ashikya, not someone who says, I can't live with that because of this girl. And that girl was just a bag of flesh and bones. And Bhadra Ji said what Gurbani says we are. Guru says that one who falls in love forever with Vaheguru, that person is a lover. Changa kar manne manda hoye. He goes that when but one who feels good only when good is done for them. ਜਦੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਚੰਗੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ, you feel good. In a relationship, imagine you've got a friend. When your friend says nice things to you, you're like, oh yeah, you feel good. Soon as he says something which hurts you, makes you feel uncomfortable or hurts your feelings, you say, hang on, I'm not going to be your friend now. You're not mine. Or you might say the same to your mum. Oh, mum, I liked you up to when you said good things about me. Now you're saying something bad. I'm not. That's the end of our relationship. Hunda vi in some cases not happening hunda, but even if in the wider society, sad that relationship between parents, children, others break down because of small things. And Guru says, Ashik euna akhiye je lekha varte so oh, I love Vaheguru when everything's going well for me, but as soon as something happens bad in my life, then you think that, what type of Vaheguru are you? What type of relationship do you have? Guru says that when you have no account, Raag Prabhu Pave Mar, when you say Vaheguru, you can, whether you beat me, whether you keep me, I'm still in love with you. That's love. Even if you read the love stories, whether Laila, she didn't accept Majnun, she got married to somebody else. But even then he said, even if you don't marry me, I still fall in love with you. And that's the type of pyar, but in a purer sense, sansari pyar, as if you're not interested in that. It's that pyar when you say, Vaheguru, you give me pain in my life, Vaheguru, if you don't even embrace me. I know people say that, become part of our religion, you will get heaven. For a Sikh, even if you don't get me heaven, Baba Manvir Singh Jee, Nanak Sarwale, they used to say, if I have to be reborn 100 times, if I have to be reborn 100 times, I don't mind. If Vaheguru says to me that you are not worthy of such kind, you are not worthy of becoming one in his presence, and he sends me back 100 times, because I'm willing to accept that. And he goes, as long as I'm born in a house where my mother recites Japji Sada part and I hear the Japji Sada Bani. Inna pyar. Even if you forsake me, Vaheguru, I'll still fall in love with you. And this is what Gurbani talks about. So there are two types of Majnus. Okay, Majnu means crazy people in love. You got the Sansari people, so that's the examples we mentioned, the Heer Ranja, the Romeo Juliet, the Laila Majnu ones. And then you got the other example, the Majnus of Vaheguru. The people are crazy because of Vaheguru. And when you're crazy about Vaheguru, sometimes people cry in love, they might be quiet, or they might laugh in love. And Guru Maharaj says, Guru Ramdas Maharaj says, Akhi Prem Kasaiya Har Har Naam Pikhan, Jekar Duja Dekhde Janan Kad Dichan. Guru says that, give me those eyes where I can see Vaheguru. And Guru says that if I can't see Vaheguru with these eyes, take these eyes out. I don't need these eyes. Je ek akkha de naal mera Vaheguru darshan na hon, ta akkha kaddi deo, take these eyes out. Inna pyar di gall hai. This is the pyar. And we sometimes ask just trivial things. Oh, do I have to do this? Do I have to do this? Where does Guru say this? Do I have to try the star? Do I have to not eat meat? Do I have to do part in the morning? Do I have to wake up early in the morning? I can still be a Sikh and wake up at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. There's nothing wrong with that, is there? But Guru says that that's pyar di gall, not something which tells you that aa karna hai, apne andar you said that. Do you know we're talking about falling in love with a Sansari person? I'm just going to bring you down to the last two lines. What Guru says who we are. Asi kiya Vishta ast ragat parete chaam is upar le rakhyo guman. Guru says that Vishta means the excrement, the gandagi which comes out of our body. Ast means tade bones. Ast rakt your blood. Parete chaam, you're wrapped up in skin. So all we are gandagi, we are excrement, bones, haddiyan, the blood, khoon, which is wrapped up in mass, in skin. This is what we are. And so if someone says, I've fallen in love with somebody, for a Gursikh has no meaning. In Sikhi has no meaning to say you fall in love with a girl, or vice versa for a boy. True lovers. I'm just going to share a few examples of true lovers. What does Gurbani say, who's true lover? Is it those people who say they love Guru? I love Vaheguru and that's it. Guru says, Ratte sai je mokhna muran, jinni snyata sai. Ratte means you fall the love in you. You love somebody, you're imbued in that love. Ratte sai je mokhna muran, asli ni, Oi ashik, they are the lovers who never turn their back on their loved one. Those who never turn their back on their pyara, asl vich they are the lovers. Eh nahi pe Guru ne dekha glassi piran de koi gaal nahi. I'm still Guru da Sikh. Guru kira dekhda hai. Where did Guru say them nitne paठ kadi kita nahi. Japji Sahib, you never read Japji Sahib in life. What are you to read Bani? But Gurdwara janda adi matha tek. And then when it comes, when Guru asks you something, you turn your back to the Guru. And Guru says, Jinni, that those people, only those that actually love God, who actually never turn their back, and they actually know Him. Char bhavde kache virhi jina kar na ai. Guru says, kache pyare oya, kache ashq oya. You are the false lovers, the kache. They are not the pure ones. Guru says, those are the immature lovers who don't know the way of love, and so they fall. Taniv huna par padambar bhai seti jale. Veda Vaheguru कहते मैं जिन्हें मर्जी सोने कपड़े पाए हों, nice कपड़े, mama said burn them. कपड़े पहनने का क्या फायदा? Is that putting makeup on your face? Be with makeup on. What's putting makeup on your face when Guru's not pleased with? What's wearing tight t-shirt and tight belt? And आजकल कई लड़कियां ने वो पिच्चू ही दिखाया होता है, the underwear shows है ना. मैं गुरुद्वारे कैंप के होते हुए मैं अगे पिछले ग्राम के कैंप भी दस्या सी. But वहाँ का पिच्चू भी लोग का मत्था टेकने जाते. And I told the same, मैं के पाजी your pants coming down. And he goes, पाजी the design ही दादा ही है. You can see his kashara. And this is, who are you pleasing? Jira sadhu कहते जिन्हें प्यारे नो only wear those things which please Vaheguru. And Guru says that what's the point if we didn't, these our appearance doesn't please Vaheguru? Namaz burn that. Turi vich ludandri soha nang te shah nale. Even rolling in dust, I look beautiful if the Lord is with me. Je Vaheguru mere naal hai paani mein ganda hi hoa baar. Kapde mitti naal pevte hona hai, covered in dust. If Vaheguru is with us, then even fairies we look sonnen. Magician आ गया. चलो ठीक है. I shared examples of बाद which of some true lovers. So annoying, yeah. So there's a break now.